Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist. Dorian here on Monday morning, November the 3rd. We are now into the month of November. All quiet on the Atlantic Basin tropical scene and certainly quiet on the eastern Pacific tropical scene as well. There is a typhoon, however, in the western Pacific Ocean right now. All in all, it looks like we're going to wind down and there may not be any more tropical activity in the Atlantic Basin. Odds are against it. Certainly, we'll monitor that over the next couple of weeks. Let's see where we stand right now here at the beginning of November. Let's take a look at the accumulated cyclone energy. Again, this is a good metric to monitor in terms of overall tropical activity. It takes into account not only the magnitude of a tropical storm system, but the longevity as well. So a Category 5 hurricane that lasts for a couple of weeks will really pound away at the points for accumulated cyclone energy, whereas a Cat 1 that only lasts for a day or two will be much more limited in terms of its accumulated cyclone energy. Well, this is broken down by basin. In the top line here we have the North Atlantic, and because of Category 5 Hurricane Melissa, which lasted for several days as a strong hurricane, it has moved the ACE to a little bit above normal levels right now. We're seeing 132 normal for this stage of the tropical season, about 116, a little bit higher than normal. However, much of the rest of the northern hemisphere is below normal, and you can see the northern hemisphere as a whole is below normal as we move into this early part of November. A large part of that is associated with the western half of the Pacific Ocean, which is quite a bit below normal. The western Pacific Ocean leads the way for overall global activity. So what happens in the western Pacific has a big impact on the northern hemisphere. And indeed, there is a typhoon out there right now, so this will certainly gain some points here in the next week or so. But for now, it's quite a bit below normal, and that, again, is contributing to below normal levels for the northern hemisphere as a whole. Well, let's take a look at the outlook we put out way back in the spring for the tropical season here. And again, it looks like we may be done with the tropical activity in the Atlantic Basin. Just kind of wondering, I think I had a relatively normal levels here for the number of named storms. Indeed, it looked like nearly normal was my expectation for the tropical season, with about 15 named storms. We now have 13 with Melissa included named storms, so relatively normal in terms of the number of storms for the Atlantic Basin tropical season. A little bit below perhaps for the number of storms, a little bit above with respect to the ACE, the accumulated cyclone energy. So we'll see how it all unfolds here over the next few weeks. Again, likely we will not see another named tropical system, but for now, generally nearly normal in the Atlantic Basin in terms of the number of named storms, and again, a little bit above normal in the accumulated cyclone energy. Northern hemisphere as a whole, below normal, likely to stay below normal as we wind down the 2025 tropical season. Well, let's get back to the continental U.S. We have a lot of rainfall over the next few days for the northwestern part of the nation, and it looks like quite an impressive cold shot coming into the eastern states in about a week's time. The early part of next week should feature quite a widespread colder than normal air mass. First of all, let's take a look here at the total precipitation forecast map for the next 10 days. And again, the big area of interest here right off the bat is out across the northern half of California, Washington, Oregon, with significant amount of precipitation over the next 10 days. Now, there's also quite a bit here up across especially New England area here, but throughout the northeastern part of the U.S. A lot of this will come with a potential storm system early next week with the arrival of that cold air mass, again, into the northeastern states, especially, let's Sunday, Monday time frame. Some of this will be in the form of snow, so we'll have to monitor that possibility over the next few days here. In fact, let's take a look at the snowfall forecast map. This is the 0Z GFS total snowfall amounts for the next 10 days. First of all, out in the west, whenever you have significant precipitation, you can count on some snow up across the Sierra Nevada mountains in the eastern part of California. Indeed, it looks like substantial snow in that mountain range, and also up across the higher elevations of Washington and Oregon, and certainly southwestern Canada as well. Some of those higher elevation locations in northern Rockies. This is over the next 10 days. Now, a significant amount of snowfall here depicted by last night's run of the GFS. Again, much of this, and we'll see this in a moment, associated with a storm system in about a week's time. Impressive cold shot coming into the eastern states in about a week's time, next Sunday, Monday time frame, and there could be some accumulated snow associated with that influx of colder than normal air. Well, let's first take a look here at the 850 millibar temperature anomaly forecast maps from the 0Z GFS. Then we'll look at the surface forecast maps, especially focused in on rain along the west coast over the next few days and that possible snow in the northeastern states next Sunday, Monday time. First of all, a little bit colder than normal in the eastern states this morning, warmer than normal out across the Four Corners states. We'll move forward in time. Stays a little bit below normal into the day on Tuesday. Northeastern states, but well above normal out across the heartland, the middle part of the nation. Be quite a warm week across much of the nation here as we here's a cold shot coming. By Wednesday night, there'll be another cold frontal system that slides across mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. Ushers in some cooler than normal air for the day on Thursday. Probably highs limited to the 50s. D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. This is the forecast map for Thursday morning. Still above normal out across the Four Corners states. Then we go into the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. Here we go on Saturday. There'll be another frontal passage on Friday night, probably bringing some showers to the northeastern states, and that'll be followed by a little bit colder than normal air. But here comes the real influx of cold air to watch. This is Sunday night time frame. There'll be a strong frontal system right in this area right here, driving to the South Andes, some widespread below normal air. Quite an impressive shot here coming into the eastern states early next week. Here we go all the way out to next Monday morning. This is a week from right now, well below normal across much of the eastern half of the nation. This is Monday, November 10th, with temperatures as low as 20 degrees below normal portions of the Midwest here. This is from last night's 0Z run of the GFS model. Warmer than normal out across the western states a week from today. Well, let's walk through the surface forecast maps. First of all, we start the day here on Monday with low pressure pushing off the Carolina coastline. Its precipitation field makes it all the way to the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. That'll be the kind of the northwestern edge of this precipitation field. You certainly can see a couple of showers in the D.C., Philadelphia metro areas, especially in the southern and eastern portions of those metro areas. We go out farther in time. A lot of dry weather as we begin the new week here out across the middle of the nation. Here comes some decent precipitation into the western states again over the next couple of days. Big time storm system here by the time we get to the middle of the week, and again this will result in snow in some of those higher elevation locations here. On Wednesday night we have a strong cold frontal system diving across the northeastern states. That will usher in kind of a quick shot of colder than normal air for the day on Thursday. And here we go now into the end of the week. Still snow in some of those higher elevations out across the northwestern states here into southwestern part of Canada. Here we are on Friday morning, and we'll go out in time here into Saturday morning. Another frontal system pushes across the eastern states. But then here comes the interesting pattern here. This is quite a cold air mass by Sunday evening. Right in here, we saw the 850 millibar temperature anomalies. It's diving to the south and kind of spreading to the east here. Low pressure is kind of forming along this incoming frontal boundary zone here. And this is a system to watch for potential accumulating snow, let's say late Sunday into Monday across the interior northeast U.S. and at the same time that colder air well below normal for this time of the year. We'll be kind of flooding the eastern half of the nation. 1 week from right now, this is going into Monday morning at this particular time. Again, we'll have to watch for the possibility of some accumulated snow, especially inland, especially higher elevation locations of the northeast U.S. Sunday night into the day on Monday, all the way out into Monday afternoon. And again, this is quite a cold air mass across the eastern states. A week from right now, early next week, at this time it stays relatively warm, above normal temperatures at across the four corner states. An active time period over the next 10 days across the Pacific Northwest. So that's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.